So this is the third or fourth time I've tried to get my thoughts out about this, in front of a camera. I probably shouldn't be recording. I'm not feeling terribly well right now. It is the end of August. Everything's hot and sticky, but I need to get my thoughts out about this, because otherwise, I don't know, I might explode. That'd be interesting. But I'm going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons right now. Namely, there's been a discussion going on right now about D&D character ability score generation. And that talk has been about the legitimacy of 3d6 in order. That is, roll 3 6-sided dice. That's regular dice for the uninitiated. For each ability score in the order of something like strength, intelligence, dexterity, wisdom, constitution, charisma. Something like that. I might get the order wrong. I apologize if I do. And a lot of people are like, oh, that's the old school way to do it, that's the best way to do it, or that's the most interesting way to do it because it's old school. To which my response is, I've been doing this for 20, 21 years, around there, as long as I can remember. Alright, when I was really young, my aunt let me borrow these. She let me borrow these when I was like maybe 12, 14, around there. And I looked through both of these books a fair amount growing up. I didn't have a lot of people to play with, but I read the books. Actually, I had a lot of people to play with, but they were all busy. We could never really successfully get a group together. But I read the books. And my only response is, guys, 3d6 in order? That was not a rule. It was never a rule in Advanced D&D. That wasn't even a rule in 2nd edition Advanced D&D. And 2nd edition kinda sucked. Watch me get hate mail for that, by the way. They're gonna friggin' crucify me. But there were like 4 ways to generate your ability scores according to the DMG. Yeah, that wasn't in the player's handbook. That was right here in the DMG. You remember this cover? The one with the demon on the front, and the girl in his hand, and the sword, and the guys who were like, oh, there's a demon, we gotta, rah, stuff like that. You know, old school, little wizard TSR guy. Yeah, you know this book, and if you don't know this book, shut up. The big kids are talking. Point is, you never, that was never a rule. 3d6 in order, that wasn't a rule. There were versions of it, I suppose, in like, oh yeah, roll 3d6 in this order 12 times to generate 12 different characters and pick whichever character you like best. Or, oh yeah, roll 3d6 in order of ability scores, but it's like roll like 6 times for each ability score and take the highest of each one. You know, it's 3d6 in order was just never a rule. That was a rule in Hackmaster, but even Hackmaster said, oh, here are some build points if you want to keep those scores, but if you want to take fewer build points, you can swap 2 of them, or if you don't want to take any build points for this particular part of your character, you know, here's the ability to rearrange your ability scores as you see fit. You know, it's not a rule. It's just 3d6 in order is not a rule. It was never a rule. It's a neat way to generate ability scores, but stop acting like it was ever a rule, because I don't think it ever was. Maybe it was in the basic set, and I don't own the basic set. I'm trying to get my hands on it. But as far as Advanced Dungeons and Dragons go, as far as these books say so, and as far as the books that came after them say so, 2nd edition, 3rd edition and 3.5, Pathfinder, 4th edition, but we don't talk about 4th edition because I hate 4th edition. 5th edition, this is not a rule. And maybe at a later time, after I've stopped feeling like crap, I will make a video about what I think of different ability score generation techniques in general, you know? So I'll just say this, 3d6 isn't necessarily bad, and it is interesting, but it was never a rule. So, you know, stop treating it like the friggin' gospel.